Chapter 19. The Pet. While yesterday George and Howard slept, George and Howard tried to figure out what to do next. "How are we going to explain this to our parents?" asked Howard. "How are we going to explain this to ourselves?" asked George. Yesterday George yawned and stretched as he rolled over to his beanbag chair. He glanced at his pocket watch, then closed his eyes to go back to sleep. Suddenly, his eyes shot open. "Oh, no!" Yesterday George screamed. Yesterday Howard awoke up with a jump. "We really fell asleep!" Yesterday George cried. "We slept through school! We slept through our tests! We slept through... Hey, who are you guys?" Yesterday Howard rubbed his eyes and looked at his twin. "I must be dreaming," he said. "Either that or I'm seeing double." "Well," said George, "it's a long story." He and Howard told their yesterday selves what had happened and quickly caught them both up on the events of the past 3.5 chapters. "Now what are we supposed to do?" said yesterday George. "We can't tell our parents," said Howard. "But where are we all going to sleep?" asked yesterday Howard. "And how are we all going to get enough food?" said yesterday George. "And clean clothes," said Howard. Everyone was beginning to panic except for George, who had been deep in thought for a while. George didn't seem worried at all. In fact, a devilish grin was beginning to spread across his face. "You know," George said, "maybe we are looking at this the wrong way. Maybe this is a good thing." "A good thing?" cried yesterday Howard incredulously. "Yeah," said George. "We've always said there's never enough time to do what we want to do. So let's take shifts. Me and Howard will start going to school and doing our homework on even-numbered days, and you guys will go to school and do homework on odd-numbered days." "Yeah, but what we do while you guys are at school?" asked yesterday George. "Whatever you want," said George. "Hang out in the treehouse, play video games, make comics, watch monster movies. It doesn't matter. You guys get to relax and take the day off every other day." "I get it," said yesterday George, smiling devilously. "Then you guys can take the day off while we're at school and stuff." "Yeah," said George. "Just think of the possibilities." "I don't know," said Howard and yesterday Howard at the same time. "Don't worry," said George. "It'll be great. We'll have twice as much fun as normal and only half the work." "Yeah," said yesterday George. "What could possibly go wrong?" Chapter 20. Shift Workers. Since today was an even-numbered weekday, it was decided that yesterday George and yesterday Howard would go to school the next day. So the yesterday boys said goodbye and headed down to their respective homes to eat, do homework, and prepare for the next day at school. George and Howard were ready for a night off. Howard grabbed a stack of comics, George turned on a monster movie, and the two friends settled into their beanbag chairs for some well-deserved R&R. Fortunately, they had enough juice boxes, sing-song cupcakes, and fruit lollipops to last them for a while. Around 9:30 p.m., George called Piqua Pizza Palace and ordered 2 calzones, some cheesy breadsticks, and 2 2-liter bottles of ice-cold woods beer. The boys waited in George's driveway so the delivery guy wouldn't ring the doorbell. Soon, the two friends were enjoying the finest carbohydrates money could buy in the quiet comforts of their cozy treehouse. "This is the life," said George as he pressed the play on the horror movie masterpiece Baby Brought to the screen. Howard, who was usually cautious in situations like this, had to admit it. This was indeed the life. Chapter 21 Problems. The next morning, George and Howard woke up late. It's nice to sleep in for a change, isn't it?" said George. "Yeah," said Howard. "But I gotta pee." This was something that George and Howard hadn't thought about. Usually, they would just climb down the ladder and run to their houses to use the bathroom. But George and Howard's mom both worked from home, and they would not be happy to see the boys running in and out of the house on a school day. Fortunately, empty 2-liter bottles come in very handy for such situations, but as they poured the contents of their emergency urinals out the window, both boys knew this solution wouldn't work for long. "Our food is running low," said Howard, "and I spent all my allowance on those calzones last night." "No problem," said George. "We'll make a comic book, sell it on the playground at school, and use the money to buy all the junk we need. We can even buy one of those portable camping toilet thingies." "But we are not supposed to go to school today," said Howard. "Actually, we're not supposed to go to our classes today," George clarified it. "As long as we are never in the same place as other boys, we should be fine." So George and Howard cleared a space at their desk and began working on their newest comic book. It was called Chapter 22 Super Diaper Baby 2.5. Treehouse Comics proudly presents Action Triple Flip-O-Rama, Species Appearance by Dogman, and George Beard and Howard Hutchins.